Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes. I want us to listen to some remarks William Ruto made today as Kenyans ushered in a new year. For Ruto's remarks are going to form the basis of our analysis and discussion right now.
To allay the fears that are being spread by people that there will be an increase in electricity costs, I want to assure the country that we removed subsidies in August. There will be no additional charges today or going into the future on electricity bills to the people of Kenya. We are conducting a whole review of tariffs of all our energy requirements. And in 3 months' time, we will have public consultation to ensure that we have tariffs that are sensitive to those at the with minimum earnings, to ensure that those at the bottom of the pyramid are not affected, and to ensure that we can support our manufacturers. Contrary to the stories being peddled around that there will be job losses, there will be additional cost of living, those are just people who are speculators. Let me assure the country that we have already made the right decisions on ensuring that we have a predictable platform on how to run our economy. There will be no additional costs on electricity. We have already taken care of all the subsidies that we removed in August, and we are going to ensure that our manufacturers, our value addition processors, and all Kenyans, including those on lifeline tariff, are taken into consideration as we review the tariffs going into the future.
Yes, that's William Ruto. And from where I sit, very few Kenyans will trust those remarks by William Samoei Ruto. And he's talking about in 3 months' time. Ruto is known to be talking of in 6 months' time. This time around, he seems to be changing strategy. But all in all, very few Kenyans will trust William Ruto's words. In this video, I want us to dig deep into those remarks to understand exactly the games going on behind the scenes. If you are watching us for the very first time, subscribe, give this video a like. Yes, those remarks by William Ruto reminds me of a William Ruto on the campaign trail. A William Ruto was trying to convince Kenyans that before December 2022, before the end of December 2022, every Kenyan will be having an NHIF medical cover. We are in 2023, millions of Kenyans do not have NHIF medical cover. And also it reminds me of nikiweka Biblia chini, cost of unga will be 70 bob. Those are promises that have been proved that they were just lies and some sweet language by William Ruto and his team to hoodwink unsuspecting Kenyans. Hearing him making those remarks as Kenyans usher in a new year paints a very bleak picture of this government's commitment to actually addressing the things and promises they did give out to Kenyans. Because it's very clear, William Ruto here is not being honest with Kenyans. And I'm saying that because as long as the cost of fuel goes up, electricity will automatically go up. And already, Kenya Power has announced that the 15% subsidy that was there on electricity actually ends, or rather ended yesterday, 31st December 2022. So it's a fact that obviously cost of electricity is going up. William Ruto is lying there. And not only electricity, almost everything is going up, including school fee. Generally, the cost of living is going up. And it's very interesting that the same William Ruto who promised to form a hustler friendly government is actually making this government and is making this government more of a dynasty kind of a government. Uhuru Kenyatta's regime cushioned Kenyans against the high cost of living and against the hard economic times. William Ruto is now leaving Kenyans on their own. That's exactly what is coming out here. And also, if you look at what is currently happening, IMF actually also announced, I don't know whether with the blessings of the government, also announced that the 15% electricity subsidy Kenyans were enjoying actually costed Kenya Power a loss of 26 billion. So IMF is also advising the government to do away with that subsidy. So I just don't understand because KPLC is a state farm. That's a government's kind of a parastatal, a state farm. I don't know why William Ruto's government is allowing foreigners to actually have absolute control on some of the decisions this government makes, because it's now very clear that outsiders, foreigners are dictating to this government what they should do and what they should not do. I believe Kenya is a sovereign country. Why is the president giving these foreigners a lot of power to dictate what his government should do? I believe strongly that William Ruto as the president should stand and remain firm, should make sure he delivers and rules as per the expectations of the common man, not the so-called superpowers. Because it's clear this is a government being controlled by outsiders. And from those remarks again, William Ruto is talking about in the next 3 months that there will be some meetings to be done. In my honest opinion, even listening to William Ruto himself, I don't even think he understands what he's saying. William Ruto is just trying to throw words because after all he knows, Kenyans don't understand some of these things. All in all, I'm seeing a William Ruto who is just taking Kenyans in circles, in rounds. But in real sense, this is a government that is coming out as very insensitive to the plight of the so-called hustlers. That comes out very, very clearly. As I conclude, 2023 is most likely going to be a very difficult year for very many Kenyans. And the reason is simple. William Ruto does not care what the hustlers are going through. All William Ruto cares, he only cares on how he can manage the political class, the political leaders. And I'm saying that because if you look at William Ruto's 100 days in power, it's very clear and very obvious he is trying more to please political leaders at the expense of the people. And some of William Ruto's decisions are self-inflicted. In fact, by the virtue that William Ruto himself has increased the size of his government, he is contributing directly to the suffering of the millions of Kenyans. The mere fact again that William Ruto is also doing away with some programs like Inua Mama, these elderly programs that was actually giving some cash disbursements to the less privileged, the mere fact that William Ruto has also done away with them, he is directly making life unbearable for Kenyans. So it beats logic that a government that campaigned on the platform of being a pro-hustler is actually turning out as pro-dynasties. That comes out very, very clearly. And again, the fact that Ruto has also appointed very corrupt individuals in his government, that can also just lead to corruption increasing in William Ruto's government. And should that increase, or rather, should corruption increase, is the so-called hustlers who are going to bear the burden of that kind over corruption. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching us for the very first time, subscribe, give this video a like. If you want to support us here, I've pinned my number on the comment section. Contact me through the number, or feel free to channel your support to the number. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you.